God's mercy knows no boundaries. His blessings flow even to the humblest of hearts. Your circumstances do not limit God's mercy. Whether rich or poor, His blessings are poured out on all who turn to Him. Even in your lowest moments, God's love surrounds you and lifts you higher. God sees beyond rags and riches. He sees the soul that seeks Him with sincerity. The clothes you wear or the wealth you lack don't define your worth in God's eyes. He looks at your heart, your faith, and your intentions. To Him, every soul that seeks Him is precious and worthy of His grace. In the eyes of God, the beggar at the gate is as cherished as the king in the palace. Earthly positions and possessions mean nothing to God. He values each person equally, offering love and care to all. Whether you are on the streets or on a throne, His compassion is the same. God's grace is the greatest treasure. It cannot be bought, only received with faith. No amount of money can buy God's favor or love. His grace is freely given to anyone who believes in Him. The poor are never excluded, for God's kingdom is open to all who trust in His name. Though you may be overlooked by men, you are never forgotten by God. Society may turn away or ignore those in need, but God never does. He sees you, hears your prayers, and walks with you through every trial. His presence is a constant source of hope. God uses the weak to show His strength, and the poor to reveal His abundance. In your struggles, God's power shines brightest. He can take what seems like nothing and turn it into a testimony of His goodness. Trust in Him and watch Him transform your life for His glory. Even in hunger, God feeds the soul with hope and the heart with love. While your body may lack food, your soul can still feast on God's promises. He nourishes you with hope, reminding you that His plans for you are good and full of provision. The beggar who calls on God is richer in spirit than the wealthiest man who ignores Him. True riches are found in a relationship with God, not in material possessions. A heart that trusts Him is more valuable than all the gold in the world. God's hands are never too far to lift you from the depths of despair. No matter how deep your struggles go, God's reach is always greater. He is ready to pull you out of hardship and set your feet on solid ground. Trust in His mighty hands. The streets may be your dwelling, but heaven is your home when you walk with God. Your current situation does not define your eternal destiny. When you follow God, your true home is with Him in a place of endless joy and peace. God hears the cries of the brokenhearted and answers them with His love. Your prayers never go unnoticed. God listens intently to the cries of those in need, offering His love and comfort in return. He is always near, ready to help. The greatest wealth lies in a heart that trusts God, not in possessions that fade away. Material wealth is temporary, but a heart filled with trust in God is everlasting. When you place your faith in Him, you inherit a treasure that cannot be taken from you. God lifts up those who have been cast down and restores their hope. When life feels overwhelming, God steps in to restore what's been lost. He lifts you up, strengthens your spirit, and fills you with hope for a brighter future. Even in poverty, God gives gifts that no money can buy: peace, joy, and love. The blessings of God are not material but spiritual. He gives peace in chaos, joy in sorrow, and love that surpasses understanding. These gifts are priceless and available to all. God's kingdom is filled with those the world calls least, for they are first in His heart. The poor and humble have a special place in God's kingdom. While the world may look down on them, God sees their value and lifts them to positions of honor in His eyes. God provides for the sparrows. How much more will He care for you, His beloved child? If God cares for the birds in the sky and the flowers in the field, how much more will He provide for you? Trust in His promise to meet your needs. The wealth of this world fades, but the riches of God's love are eternal. Money and possessions can disappear, but God's love is forever. No matter your circumstances, His love remains constant and unchanging, providing for you in every season. When you have nothing, you discover that God is everything you need. In times of scarcity, God's presence becomes your greatest treasure. He fills the voids in your life and proves that His grace is sufficient for every need. God sees your struggles, and He is working behind the scenes to bring you peace. Even when you can't see it, God is at work in your life. He is orchestrating blessings and solutions to your struggles, preparing a way for you to find peace and joy. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Jesus Himself promised that those who are humble and rely on God are blessed beyond measure. The riches of His kingdom belong to those who seek Him with pure and trusting hearts.